What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be doing the Manchester City latest news with lots to talk about. So before we crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you're interested and enjoying this content, then make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on to help support my channel. Make sure also you go and check out my social media links, which you can find in the description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram. And make sure also you leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and you let me know your thoughts, most importantly in the comments below, because I'm always interested in what you do have to say. It's nice to be back. It's the international break. I'll be honest, taking it easy for the last week or so, thinking about that Liverpool game, which we'll be speaking more about that and the Premier League game going on later on into this video. But first, some news has been developing over the last couple of days, which I've been keeping an eye on, which I've been tweeting about, and I found quite significant. Now, CAS, who are in charge of the Court of the Aberration of Sport, I think, or something along them lines, that's what they stand for anyway. City lodged an appeal when UEFA were launching an investigation, and we've had the result of that appeal, to which CAS have ruled that Manchester City haven't been successful in their appeal, and so if UEFA decide to charge us, we'll have a case to answer to. I don't know if we can appeal once we've been charged or not. The decision, I imagine that we would. But it basically means that it's like a little tennis game, and the ball's now into UEFA's court. And we've had sources close to Manchester City, this is including coming from Sam Lee, who's normally quite reliable with City information most of the time. He's been reporting that Manchester City actually are expecting to be receiving no, and I repeat, no Champions League ban. We're expecting a result from this investigation to come next month, so December sometime, for a decision to be made. The Premier League have already made their decision on their investigation when they hopped on the bandwagon and decided to investigate, and they ruled that Manchester City haven't got a case to answer to, and Sam Lee was reporting that something very similar could well come from UEFA, due to UEFA having a fear that it could get drawn into a lengthy and, more importantly from UEFA's point of view, a very expensive investigation and trial going into Manchester City, and that's not the direction that they want to go into, and so they're looking to try and avoid that. So whether Manchester City will get found guilty or not, of course, of the crimes that they've been charged with, which is coming from that Der Spiegel, or however you say their names, reports of Manchester City, not only into the tapping up of young players. I mean, Jadon Sancho's transfer was investigated, which the result of that is Manchester City being deemed that nothing inappropriate had been done from Manchester City in terms of tapping up young players. So, not guilty on that charge. Of course, there are other charges that Manchester City may well be getting investigated into with regards to young players coming in from abroad, and I think also some financial deal involving one of the Far Eastern finances, and I think they wanted UEFA to investigate Etihad Airways too, saying that City were pumping money from their own businesses into their own club, which at the end of the day I find quite ludicrous that a business owner can't invest their own money into the club. I find that incredibly daft, if I'm completely honest, but hey, I've seen Jeremy Corbyn been speaking, we've got the general election coming up next month, speaking about wanting fans to have a say at the clubs and to be the majority shareholders, which part of me agrees. Part of me was thinking, actually though, there's so much money involved in the Premier League that is probably just not viable. But there we go. Well, that's what's been happening, that's what's been floating around, so we're expecting some result, and the likely, I will put on that, if you're a glass half full or a glass half full, or you're a glass half empty type person, depending how you're looking at it, it looks as though Manchester City will not be getting a Champions League ban. We may still get found guilty. That could be a fine. You know how much UEFA love money. They might find us guilty and give us a fine, but they're not, or it seems at this moment in time like they're a little bit reluctant on banning Manchester City, but that's for next month. A lot of things can change, so I will keep an eye on that, and any developments that I of course do get, I will keep you up to date on my YouTube channel, or if you want to be kept up to date ASAP, my Twitter, because I'll be tweeting about it first and foremost, so make sure you go and follow me on my Twitter, link in description, and also it was popping up at the beginning of the video if you want to go and follow me on there, which is at JSGC171. So let's talk next about the Premier League. Of course, at the weekend, Manchester City lost to Liverpool after City didn't play too badly, in my opinion. Just individual mistakes and the clinicalness of Liverpool ended up Liverpool winning the game. That was the reason that I came to. The dust has settled. We're 9 points behind. Liverpool are 8 points clear. We're 9 points behind Liverpool. So, yeah, we're sitting in 4th place. We're behind Chelsea. We're behind Leicester. We're playing Chelsea next in the Premier League at home in, you would think, a must-win game. And I've just been thinking to myself, how can Manchester City possibly cut that gap on Liverpool? And I have actually come up with some solutions on what City can do. Now, first and foremost, before we even start thinking about the winter window and transfers and stuff like that, which of course would help Manchester City and help aid us, and I will have a transfer update up at some point over the next couple of days, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I did promise that, and I will be giving you a transfer update over the next couple of days with lots of interesting developments coming forward, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and make sure you subscribe and press that bell and put your push notifications on to be notified immediately when I do upload. Plug. But yes, Manchester City have come up with a way that we can, first and foremost, before we even get into transfers, start cutting down this gap on Liverpool. And one of the first things that we need to do, not so much improve performances, it's more just cut out the unnecessary mistakes that we do make. When we're put under pressure, we have a... Well, Fernandinho is brilliant at it, but it seems like every other player is terrible at it, at smelling danger. And they need to be more visually aware of what is around them. That Ilkay Gundogan clearance just wasn't good enough. That ball should have just either been lumped as far forward as he could have put it, or simply just put into the stand. It's the basics of football. Under pressure, you're not too sure what's around you, you're not too aware of your, the surroundings around you. You do clear that ball and you clear it as far away as possible. If that means putting it out, you put it out. And allow you to regroup. So I don't understand why that wasn't done, and that's something that we need to learn. Chelsea play with a lot of pace. We've got some very good teams coming up throughout December, including, I was going to say Manchester United. I'm just not, it's going to come back to bite me for making that comment, but hey, I don't care. But we have got Arsenal and Leicester to play throughout December and the busy Christmas schedule, so that's something that we need to figure out, and we need to figure out fast is when danger is around, clear it, because defensively we're not too brilliant. And so the last thing we want to do is put our, shaky defence, shall we say, under even more pressure, because they do have a habit of crumbling. Another situation that we need to keep an eye on is injuries. Are we training too much? I've just been thinking, are we putting the players under too much pressure? Because we seem to always have injury after injury after injury to key player and to another key player. And it's really frustrating. I'm just thinking that with the busy December schedule coming in, I think that City need to just take it easy in training, learn their knowledge of the teams, tell the players what to do, and then just go out and just do light warm-ups and, put their bodies at ease. And if players have got a known injury record, have them train less to keep them fit. I'm talking the Benjamin Mendy's of this world. Even Sergio Aguero in previous seasons has had a horrendous injury record. So putting these players under too much scrutiny and playing them too much and making them train too much, it's only going to, not aid us going forward into the future. And so this spell coming back from the international break right forward to the new year and the FA Cup, when we play the third round in early January, it's a very important phase for City. And to me, the only way we win this Premier League in May 2020 is if we win every game running from this Chelsea game right up to that FA Cup game, because I can guarantee, because Liverpool obviously are going to have that Club World Championship sandwich, so they're going to have a game postponed that will be at least 6 points behind. I reckon Liverpool will probably drop a couple of points in December too. That's just how it is in December. And so I know that if we have a very strong December, something we've not had over the last couple of years under Pep Guardiola, if we can finally do that and master that, then that's going to help us, and that's going to put us right under Liverpool's nose. I reckon we'll be about 3-4 points behind them come that situation. Yes, they might have a game in hand, but Liverpool, we know for a fact, they like to chase. They're not a team that's used to leading, and so I'm confident that if we can put them under as much pressure as possible, then we need to do that and try and do that as quickly as possible and get that gap down, because if that's still 9 points or even more, if worst comes to the worst, by the time January hits, we're going to find it extremely difficult. Not impossible, but it's going to be extremely difficult. And if there's a time for us to cut that deficit, this busy schedule, it's the busiest schedule of the whole season, running from the end of November right through to early January. It's the busiest schedule that we've got. We've got difficult games coming up, and it's just gotten to a point where we've dropped too many points already this season. We just simply can't afford to drop anymore, and if we don't book our ideas up, then the Premier League may well become too difficult for us to win, and we'll have to turn our attentions elsewhere. That's just how it is. We have to wait and see. We need to improve our performances, try and keep the injuries to the down low. If we can get Obviously, we can help ourselves, rotated squads. I mean, the Champions League, it's near enough a gimme that we're going to be finishing, not only qualifying, but finishing in first. There's no reason why rotated squads shouldn't be out for our 2 Champions League games coming up and the League Cup game, quarter-final away at Oxford. I mean, our rotated squad's a very good squad. There's no reason why the rotated squad shouldn't be out for them games. And let's just cut this schedule down and start taking things game after game and get good performance after good performance. Get the players' confidence up, get a couple of good results over the next couple of weekends. I think it's an ideal time to be playing a home game against Chelsea. We battered them last year. We know how to beat them. And if anything, their squad's even weaker than what it was last season. I mean, City's is weaker too, but I feel like Chelsea's is too. And so Chelsea feel like they've got nothing to lose. City, it's getting to a point where we've got nothing to lose. We're under no pressure. I mean, we're 9 points behind. You know, go and put it out on the pitch. Go and put in a good performance. I'm confident we can put our chances away. We'll win the game and we'll win that game comfortably. Just see how things go. Got to take it game after game though, and see where we lie. Liverpool playing first doesn't help. If we're playing first, we need to make that pressure count. Put Liverpool under as much pressure as possible. And one of the most important things is we need to get ourselves back to second place as quickly as possible too. I'm more confident on Chelsea and Leicester dropping points than what I am Liverpool, but we need to make sure that we are second. We're getting a gap between third and fourth. We'll start cementing our place in second and start then leading a chase for Liverpool. But we've got to take it game after game. We're considering we've got Chelsea and Leicester coming up in the next month or so. No reason why that isn't viable for City. That's the direction we need to be under. We need to have our game faces on. We need to have our brains thinking, and we need to be putting in good performance after good performance. We've done it before. Won, what was it, 13, 14 games in a row at the end of last season. We've gone 18 games consecutive winning. We're needing something similar, and if we can start that with the game against Chelsea and lead right past Christmas, we're on a right good run then to put Liverpool under pressure. And if we can get 13, 14, 15 consecutive wins in a row in the Premier League, I'm confident we'll be well on Liverpool's tail, maybe even overtaking them come 14, 15 games time. We'll just have to wait and see. It's all about football, so the joys of it. All ifs and buts. We'll have to wait and see. So there we go, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just a kind of general thing that's been happening over the last week or so. So I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. We've got a transfer update coming up over the next couple of days, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And don't forget, we'll have daily transfer updates throughout the winter window in January, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Help support my channel too. Social media links, Twitter and Instagram, in description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my social medias. And I'll see you all again for the next video. Boring international break, really. Yeah, so I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.